I got you, people. You know that a lot of channels are taken down if the cloud calls the platform. Listen, I need you to take this channel down because I don't like what they're saying and I don't like the way they're articulating the information out. Whether it's fact or opinion, we don't care. We need you to take it down. And that's what happens. They take it down. But anyway, I'm going to talk about a particular situation about this YouTuber. And it's a few of them that's always talking down about migrants. Not all migrants are bad and not all migrants are good. Right? Some of them come here to work and do the best way they can to improve their situation from back home, right? So they come here to work, seek out resources, and elevate themselves and their family. So that's one thing that people here in America don't do. They have all the resources and they don't use it. They're always complaining. So not all migrants are criminals, thieves, gangsters, and things like that. A lot of them come here and the little money they got, they invested it in some type of little business, right? Selling fruits, car wash, vending, kitchen cooking. Mostly you go to all these local stores, bodegas as we call them, convenience stores. All the migrants are working in the kitchen or serving or stocking the stock, right? So that you can buy. But of course, there's other migrants that came to the country with bad intentions because they can't escape. They already been branded as criminals and they probably got a warrant for their arrest or something like that. So they're hiding. So that's what you got. So this particular YouTuber is upset, and not only him, other YouTubers that speak on the subject, that these migrants come here and they already got welfare, they get housing, they get money, food stamps, all kinds of services from social services that receive. But everybody in America is on the same thing. Half of America is on welfare. They're receiving some kind of public assistance, government handout. Thing is that most people don't know how to use it right? Especially these are color folks that are going against the migrants. Because they pick certain people out as category. And you could tell a migrant, you could tell who doesn't belong here because they wasn't here as long. Like, most people don't bother Africans like they used to back in the days because they already got used to them being here, right? And Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, right? They've been here so long that you don't consider them as migrants no more. You consider them now part of the U.S. culture. So as you see another migrant that looks different, shorter, and things like that, so you tend to ridicule them. So that's what's going on. So this migrant, a family of migrants, got together and they bought themselves a building complex, an apartment. I don't know if it was an apartment, whatever. It looked like an apartment, but it could be a house. So we don't know. We just know that they came here and now they're established from the help of the community and some public services helped them to purchase their first home. And so now this YouTube individual is upset that he can't even speak English. You believe that? That he can't even speak English, but he got to get a loan and get help to buy his first home. That's discriminating. You talk when they're discriminating against the color folks, but the color folks are discriminating against other people, but you don't want to be discriminated. So it's not people's fault that people pick on certain people of color because you have the same mentality that you don't want others to put upon you, but you're putting upon them. If you understood what I said. So that's what's going on. So they bought this their first house and they happy. So you got all these other channels now talking about that. That's wrong, that these people come in and they get everything. Listen, you've been here before anybody has been here, right? I mean, there was people here, but you was here as well in the beginning of time. You've been here, they say, like everybody say, for 500 years ahead of time, and you couldn't accomplish yourself to establish yourself where you live in your community. Everybody goes through backlash. Everybody got to struggle. But you use excuse that you don't have what you got. Because, right, you busy gangbanging, smoking weed, smoking hookah, hanging out 24/7 outside with your Bluetooth, doing nothing. Instead of you're learning a trade, going to school, do something that you could elevate yourself, start your own business. It's so easy. You don't need permission to start your own business. You could do whatever. You can sell something inside, even though you need a license. But if you get caught, you got to understand that you're working without a license. But if you do have the chance to make money, save your money instead of buying $300 pair of sneakers. Do you know what's going on today? That all these people that are color that talk against these migrants, they're living in housing with a BMW, with a Mercedes. You got a Mercedes, a BMW parked in the housing parking lot, living in housing for free, and you complaining. But you drive a Mercedes. What kind of BS is that? Come on. You bashing other people, but you doing the same thing. The thing is that you don't want to get out of housing. You don't want to get out of your handouts. Why? Because you don't want to work. You're just lazy. That's it. Everybody knows that. And one more thing. If I was a landlord of anybody, not only me, if they were to rent, if they had choices to rent to migrants, color folks, or Oriental, who you think they're going to rent to? They're going to rent to the migrants, Oriental, and color folks are not going to get anywhere, right? Because you got a bad reputation. Most of these youngsters here are young thugs, young gangs that don't respect anyone. They don't respect their own parents. You know, their parents are probably out of control too. Their parents are either gangsters, ex-twerkers. That's what they do. So how are you going to bring up a family? If your parents, your father was an ex-gang member, how you think you're going to raise your kids? In the gang members of association, or not association, whatever you call it, a set. You know? The mother, always on the street smoking. She got different types of men coming inside the house. And all she does is twerk. And TV, she's on social media, twerking, showing her skin. How you think you're going to raise up a family when the parents are the ones that are broken? And arresting the parents ain't going to do nothing because you're still going to leave these kids alone in the street. You know what? I got a solution to all this problem. Why don't you let the president from El Salvador come here to the United States and take over for at least a year so he could eradicate all these gangs, all these gang members, anybody that's associated with gang, displaying colors, things like that. They should all be locked up. And I have great, how should I say it, man? Gratefulness, appreciation that the El Salvador president is doing those things, because we need that here in America, all over the world. And another thing is, you remember when the Philippines were doing the same thing to the drug dealers. They was eradicating all these drug dealers. And what happened? The Organization for Humanity, Protecting Humanity, got in talking about he's doing it. No, you got to get rid of that. You know, that's the only way. That's why I get gratefulness to these government officials that take charge and take their countries back and their communities, and let the citizens live a prosperous life instead of having all these drug dealers dictate how citizens should live. And in China, when the opium crisis came out, what they did, they couldn't eradicate. The only way they had to do it, they had to kill every addicted person into anybody that was associated with opium had to get put down. That you got to do the same thing here in America. You can't let these things go by, because that's what I said in my other video before we're taking out. Our government is the most corrupt government in the entire world. It starts from the government. Look at now, we got corrupt cops, corrupt chief of police, the governor. You got judges involved in all kinds of crimes. So it starts from the top. Everybody needs to get put down. We need a cleanup of the United States and government. They the first cause of all these problems. And I don't understand why color folks get mad at these migrants, because not all of them are bad. You know, most of them work. You know, when you go into a store, who you see? A migrant working. You know, most Americans don't want to work no more. They know they don't want to break their back, so they have to have people from other countries come in and replace them. That's how it is. You know, there's nothing you can do. Even companies, corporations hire migrants. You might not see them, but they're working somewhere, because you always complain. You don't want to work. You always want to be on vacation. You always got a problem. You know, your family members are in control. You want to take day off because your kids is thugging in the street and he got arrested. Now you got to take time from work, and you still want your employer to pay you. It doesn't work like that, people. And with that, anyway, I'll let you go when you think about that, if you got the message. The president of El Salvador has to come into the state and teach our government something about criminals and gangsters and corrupted government. With that, I'll let you go.